That's to say his wife, the Maharani. Their second, who also would be the official main villain of the movie, who just like Jafar in Aladdin, Scar in The Lion King, Frollo in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Clayton in Tarzan, Tai Lung in Kung Fu Panda, and the main villain of my animated movie about ancient Egypt I just told you about previously, not only would try to rule the kingdom instead of his sovereigns, because he thinks he's more worthy to rule the kingdom than them, but who also would want to have a Bengal tiger skin as a cape and a pick of Will's feathers above his head to prove his superiority over his sovereigns, and also to show to the people of the kingdom that he's the best in the whole kingdom according to him. And yes, you can understand this, he wants to show this by wearing something related to the two main symbols of the country. A little like with Tai Lung with the Dragon Warrior title in Kung Fu Panda. And yes, just like Frollo in The Hunchback of Notre Dame and the main villain of my animated movie about ancient Egypt, he also would think that all his bad actions make him someone good in the eyes of the gods, and also that the gods would approve what he does, and that they also would think, just like himself, that he would be a better ruler for the kingdom than the Maharaja. We would also meet the Maharaja's guard with their little, just like Rasul and the other Sultan's guard in Aladdin. And finally, of course, obviously, the daughter of the Maharaja and his wife, the princess of the city. And yes, of course, she obviously will be the love interest for the hero, and it would be, of course, a beautiful Indian girl who would be, of course, his lover and an official Disney Indian princess. Because yes, I also really want to see an Indian Disney princess. And just like Jasmine in Aladdin, we could say that she's enough of being prisoner in her palace and also of being forced to be married to one of the princes as suitors for her. So she secretly runs away from home. And just like Jasmine and Jane, she doesn't only discover how the city is outside of the palace, she even decides to explore further outside of the city in the wilderness. Because she always loved nature, so she decides to see it for real with her own eyes. And yes, of course, it's there that she's gonna meet the hero for the first time. The encounter would be like this. While the hero is eating a mango or on a mango tree branch, he spots the princess below and further away. And it's not only love at first sight for him, he's also more than surprised to see a living being just like him for the very first time of his life. But then the princess gets in danger because at one point, she sleeps and finds herself dangling over a precipice. So the hero doesn't waste a second and rushes to save her by grabbing a vine to swing on, and then he catches the princess just as she begins to fall. And of course, by seeing the young man saving her by swinging on a vine, the princess is extremely surprised, and then the hero lowers her safely onto a tree branch. Perhaps the very same branch of the same mango tree where he was. Just like Aladdin and Tarzan when they see their lovers for the first time and saves them in their movies. Then of course they look at each other in the same tree branch, and the princess is still so surprised to see a human living in the nature. They also try to communicate, and by doing so, they also take the opportunity to introduce themselves. Then the princess asks to the hero to take her back to her home by showing him the palace surrounded by the rest of the city, and the young man does what she asks him by taking her with his arm and by taking a vine with his other arm to swing on towards the city.